Golden Sands, or should I say Port Merrick, one of the largest constructions the Sea of Thieves has ever seen. From new areas for trading companies to picturesque vistas to chill out after a long day on the seas. It's literally become one of the most beautiful spots in the game, but does it serve a purpose other than it just looks pretty? Hey you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So it goes without saying that the final iteration of Golden Sands has done the environment artists for Sea of Thieves proud. A big pat on the back to everyone who was involved in its production. It gives me the same feeling of when I first stood on the shores of gold, and the sheer overwhelming size and almost alien architecture compared to anything else in Sea of Thieves honestly made it feel like I was walking around the environment of a different game. But with all of this beauty, there are two very important problems. The first being that this outpost is very unstable. And no, I don't mean it has wobbly supports, I mean the FPS drops here significantly. My PC, housed with a Nvidia 4090, can at times drop the FPS down to 45 frames per second, which is still very playable, but when you're running at a stable average of 200 FPS at 4K, you notice the massive decline. But this made me wonder, how would this outpost perform on the original Xbox One? Oh, yikes. Yeah, no thank you very much. No, my face is melting. Now, I know that the OG Xbox is almost 10 years old now, so there has to come a time when you have to raise your hands and just think, well, it is old. But this sort of performance isn't acceptable though. And it's not just Port Merrick where this happens, but pretty much every intricate landscape for the OG Xbox. Tall tales, phantom forts, even some of the larger islands. This is going to sound harsh, but if this is the kind of performance hit that the OG Xbox is going to get moving forwards, it's going to do nothing but turn people away from the game. Perhaps it's time to drop support for this console and move on to the next gen. Just saying. Moving away from technical difficulties and moving on to the more important problem, at present, there is no reason for Port Merrick's existence. What I mean is, sure, it's a great way to evolve the story from the player-driven choices and adventures, and it's a great place to just chill out and take in some views, but other than that, what purpose do we have to go to Port Merrick from a gameplay perspective? Nothing. It just seems a little weird to me that every single world evolution in this game, Reaper's Hideout, Arena Tavern, rest in peace, Shores of Gold, the Castaway Camp, the Sovereign Buildings, to mention a few, always had some purpose once they were finally built. A reason to go to them other than, ooh, that looks pretty. Whereas Port Merrick, the largest construction to ever be built within the game, is nothing more than an empty shoebox with fancy artwork on the cover. Now, don't get me wrong, it's an entirely awesome shoebox, and the environment team should be getting daily cake breaks for a job well done, but with such a vast and open landscape, doesn't it all feel a little empty? However, there is hope. The newest iteration of Golden Sands introduced the merchants and shipwrights, but it also added these bracer supports to the dry dock. I must say I was a little disappointed to find that your ship now docks alongside rather than inside this dock area. I was under the assumption that this would be the new dock area, and it would all look really snazzy. But I'm also intrigued as to why the dry dock is here. There could be a number of reasons for it. New ship customization, an ability to change your ship size mid-session, it could even be the start of a new building. And interestingly, much like the Castaway Camp that was already in the concept art before the game even released, the dry dock shares the same heritage, and a similar construction was proposed long before the first time anyone set sail. But with such a vast amount of effort put into the outpost, which has unfortunately resulted in nothing actually happening, I do have this small voice in my head saying, it's just an aesthetic, there's no reason. But given Rare's track record with world evolution, I'm hopeful this, or perhaps even something else at Port Merrick, will give us a reason to visit here over the other outposts. Also, why is there a huge statue of Merrick here when Belle also had a large play in the saving of Golden Sands? Oh, wait, there she is. But there is something that did come with this patch that is of interest. Some of you may have not noticed this, but the tavern has also had a little update to its interior. Can you see it? No, not there. It's right next to you. No, the other side. There you go. A little table next to a golden trimmed pirate code. Yes, seen it all before, I know. But take a look at the table. A tipped over inkwell with cat paw prints. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Falcore, this is the largest construction ever built, and here you are talking about a table with paw prints on it.
Yes, I am. Because I'm insane. This is one of those custom assets that always sparks an interest, as it means the developers want you to see it. But what kind of lead do we have on this? Well, within the Christmas teasers, when talking about the imposter, this guy, the peeping Tom rat, who shall now be called Tom, when discussing these sort of souls, a cat can be seen on the table, which eventually scuttles away. Now, although this scene is filmed within the Pirate Legend Tavern, you will notice the paw prints are heading for the smuggler's lair underneath Golden Sands, which also leads to a door that is locked, but also aligns with the entrance to the Pirate Legend Tavern. And what's interesting about this cat is, it shares the description of a pet a very notorious captain once had. You could say, a captain who named him Trouble. Which is kind of ironic that with all the time it took to build Port Merrick, the most interesting thing here is some paw prints. I rest my case.